Today I'm going to teach you how to write an about page that actually converts, and I know that it almost sounds like an oxymoron because a lot of people write about pages actually in the wrong way, and then it doesn't move the needle and it doesn't really do anything. And that's because most businesses actually just use very boring and predictable copy on their about page because it almost seems like an oxymoron because it's an about page. You're supposed to write about yourself, right? Well, not really, actually, if you want it to convert and move the needle. And this is because it just comes down to copy's fundamental nature of trying to convert. That's the whole goal of pretty much any sales copy, is to, as Dan Kennedy would say, advance the sale. And the about page does not get an excuse for this. So if you can actually write the about page with what I'm teaching you today, you should see a lot more traction and results. And that always begins with storytelling. People connect with stories emotionally. They'll trust your brand, they'll have a deeper connection to it. And the about page is a perfect place to do that because it's where you're showcasing yourself, your team, and your company. And I recommend that you use something called the hero's journey. And this is essentially the classic storytelling formula of experiencing some kind of challenge or problem, overcoming it, and then eventually having some kind of victory. So maybe talk about the struggles of starting your business, all the different hurdles you had to go through, climbing that mountain, and then finally come out on top. And now you can use those products and services to help people, and make sure you elaborate on it. And it doesn't have to be a novel. It can actually be just a single page if you want. Some people, when they're writing sales copy, they might write stories that go several pages, but in the case of an about page, it can also just be a page, a paragraph. Just make sure that it's on there to create that emotional connection with someone. And you can also use testimonials and customer success stories on the about page in the same way, because it's essentially just using a customer story in this same strategy. And also builds that social proof and trust because a prospect can read that and they get an idea of the kind of results and experience they would have working with you. Secondly, make sure you talk up the features and benefits of your product and service. Don't leave that out. Always remember that when you're writing copy, especially in an about page, just try to think of what does this mean for the customer, because that's exactly what they're thinking. So let's say that you're a marketing consultant. Well, don't just say that you're a marketing consultant. Say that you're going to transform their business, their lifestyle. You're going to help them achieve a lot more freedom, increase their income, and be their own boss. That's the benefit of what you're offering, and it's truly what people want. And if you can tie that into emotions and experiences, the about page just becomes so much more relevant to the customer, more exciting, and it gets so much more engagement out of it. Thirdly, the about page is a good place to flex because this is where you want to put all of your awards, credentials, anything related to that. Show all of these off, have a logo bar, put the different icons and pictures in there because it builds credibility and it makes you look like an authority. And of course, if you have these things, you are an authority, and you have to communicate that to customers so they really understand the value of what you provide and why they should work with you. Also, don't be afraid to name drop. I use name dropping all the time on my website and different assets because I know firsthand that it can get you a lot of business. If you've worked with fortune companies or just big names in your specific niche, then people are going to trust you because a big brand like that isn't going to work with just anybody. So it's instant social proof and credibility. I also suggest that every page is finished off with some kind of lead magnet because the reality is very few people are going to come to a website, an about page, and actually just convert on the first visit. They're probably going to go to your website and then leave after. So to prevent that, you can offer a free white paper, a newsletter, template, course, something to keep them on the website, but also opting into a funnel. And once someone does get that free resource, they should be put into an automated sequence where they get remarketed to in the back end. Also make sure, regardless of the lead magnet, at the very end of the page is also a call to action to contact you for services, get a free consultation, check out your main product categories. Depends on your business. For example, if it was an agency, then yeah, definitely contact for a free consultation. But if it's an e-commerce business, then you probably want to say, hey, check out our main categories here. So make sure there's a clear call to action. Always advance the sale. Never forget that. Make sure to go into the description to get my free copywriting courses and other resources that will make you a much better copywriter. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe as well if you want to see more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.